All right, it's Miss Chantell. I'm back with you again. My phone died. Okay, everything is right. So, okay, let me check the volume before I even begin because I forgot to check the volume on the one that my phone died. Let me check this volume real quick. I hope y'all having a wonderful night. Miss Chantell is having a wonderful night. Yes, indeed. Very thankful and grateful. Let me check this volume. Where is it? Okay, let's see. Testing, testing. Okay, let's see. Oh, that's pretty loud. Yeah, that's really loud. Let's see. I'm gonna turn it down a little. All right, it's Miss Chantel. I'm back with you again. My phone died. Okay, I'm gonna turn it down. All right, that's good. All right, it sounds so loud. Hmm. All right. So when I play this song, it might sound even louder because let me turn it down an inch. Welcome to the channel with Miss Chantell. Please be respectful with your comments because you might certainly hear some stuff that you disagree with. I don't come with ill intentions to insult anybody, but this is just me being very truthful in my thoughts and opinions, and this is my personal perspective. As you have your own personal perspective. Okay? I want you to hear this song. I don't think I'm gonna be playing this channel because the station because it keeps going into commercials. But anyways, back to what I was saying. I want to share this song with you because as I was prepping to go live, I came across somebody I'm subscribed to. The channel name is Frontline Black News. The word black has two letter C's, C for cat at the end, not CK, but CC. Frontline Black News. Big ups. Listen. So I clicked on the channel as I was writing down what I'm going to talk about, whatever, so I can have some points to touch up on and don't forget. I wanted to listen to the channel. A song was playing. And the song is very nice, y'all. Y'all have to go check this out. Again, the name of the channel is Frontline Black News. Two letters C's for cat at the end of black. Frontline Black News. And the title is Season 6, Episode 12, Part 1 of the Frontline Black News. The song is so nice. It's the words. It's the words that's touching, okay? I want you to listen to a little bit of it, okay? Let's be here with my grandma and Mark, but y'all so different here from our land. You cosplay our pain. Cosplaying our pain. Think it's a tree you can borrow, but you ain't inherit the ghost. Think it's a tree you can borrow, but you didn't inherit the ghost of our sorrow. You're not no grandson on the tree. And unproductive people always cosplaying us. Talking about we ain't do nothing. Do you not you gonna deny we didn't build nothing? Let's make it clear. No turning back. Ooh, I like that. The land was paid for in full in blood, sweat, tears. You don't get to come into a house we built from the dough and tell us we ain't worth nothing. That's a violation fact. It's the words. I like it. And they're not only disrespectful to foundational Black Americans, but best believe behind closed doors and offline, they're very disrespectful to heritage Americans as well. Because you see, we have people in this country that's going through a drug epidemic, and a majority of them is not just all blacks that you're seeing. You know that very well. Okay, a lot of people that's out of work due to cheap labor, the cheap labor force is not just foundational Black Americans, but the Caucasian Americans as well. Oh, believe me, what they're saying about us to our face, they're saying about them behind closed doors. See how they coming over here looking down on us? So they looking down on them too. Oh, girl, they over there, they just strung out on drugs and girl, they don't got no jobs or nothing. What? Girl, they don't got no jobs or nothing, girl. They don't even take advantage of. Okay, we all know that all white Americans, Caucasians, don't have degrees. Just like there's a percentage of foundational Black Americans that don't have degrees. Hello. So, see, they're not looking down on just us. You understand? Look how that lady told Trump after this country accepted them in and gave them stuff they don't even give to us as foundational Black Americans who built this country. Gave them free housing, schooling for them and their children, SSI, where they don't have to go be denied and all this. They get it right off the bat because they consider refugees. Free housing, free schooling, give them monthly checks for their ailments, everything basically. Food stamps with no kind of nothing, just we just giving you loads of them. With all of that, this lady stands up in front of this man's face, the leader of the nation, and talk to him like he's a 7-year-old idiot. Don't think anything of it. Then when he responds, the laughter, the back and forth, oh, shut up, you old geezer. I saw you going up that escalator, and when it stopped, your hauler, you was breathing hard. Get your whatever, whatever. Like, what? That's highly disrespectful considering this country took you and your people in and nurse you up to where you are, to so called doing better. And that's the respect that you pay? That's how you see them? The people immediately begin to get online and trash the American people, the heritage American as well as foundational Black Americans. Y'all stupid. Your government took care of us and they ain't do nothing for you. And y'all got veterans out here that's homeless. And they taking care of us. We ain't had to work. We ain't had to pay no bills. We got food stamps and welfare and everything, boo. Hello. Y'all stupid. Y'all stupid over here. I was like, wow. When I first heard it, I was like, Well, they let the white tea people know because they're not talking to us. We didn't do such things. They surely let them white tea people know how they thought about them as well, how stupid they thought they were. That's why a lot of the white tea people mad. They're like, oh no, get them up out of here. Them ungrateful MFers. So it's not just us. When you hear them yapping up about us being Americans and whatever, they're talking to the other white tea people too. Your government take care of the immigrants better than they take care of you. You don't even own a home, and we do. We got paid in full degrees. They put us through school. All DACA students uh, got free education. You gotta pay. And so forth. Trust me, foundational Black Americans, it's not just us whose face they laughing in. See, they laugh in our faces in the open because we don't control this country, but they actually behind closed doors laughing at the white sea people as well. Okay. So it shows you the level of disrespect and ungratefulness that this lady, she didn't even have an ounce of respect for the leader of the nation. That's how wild it gets. She didn't even have an ounce of respect for the leader of the nation, who's not an FBA, mind you. When she disrespected him, she disrespected all the other white people too. Do you understand, foundational Black Americans? They're not just disrespectful to us, but to all the white people, including the leader of the nation. Hmm? So we know that delineation is a good thing. We ain't tripping because, again, they not only disrespect us, but they disrespect the leader of the nation. Talking about what you can and can't do. What? How you gonna tell a leader of a nation what they can and cannot do, especially in America? Mind you, do you know that it is hard for any outsider to get into Somalia? They they very much so are people that do not allow other people into their culture, their lifestyle, their living environment. They don't allow outsiders in. Okay? They sure don't. It's not easy to infiltrate them because they don't allow outsiders in within them. So yeah, these people are not only disrespectful to foundational Black Americans, they're disrespectful to white sea America as well. Okay. So I forgot. Did I check my volume? I think I did. I checked the volume. Yeah, I think I did. I want to say real quick, happy, happy, happy Foundational Black History Month. Happy Foundational Black History Month. I called it American Descendants of Chattel Slavery, ADOCS. Happy ADOCS. Because we all fall up under that particular. If you don't want to be called foundational Black American, you might want to identify as able, you might want to identify as half ADOCS, you might want to identify as a DOS, you might want to identify as Salon or Salon. So either way it go, you fall up under the umbrella of American descendants of chattel slavery. So I was saying happy ADOCS, but hey, if it's happy Foundational Black American Month, wonderful. Happy Foundational Black American Month. We invented the ink pen. Did you guys know that? The Barbie clippers, the hair curlers, the hair perm too, hair perm care stuff too. We popularized eyebrows and the eyelashes when our sisters were soul singing, and the hoop earrings and the long done up nails, artistic nails. We popularized all of that. Oh, yeah, that's right. So happy Foundational Black History Month. I'm glad we named it. I came across a video earlier today of, came across a video earlier today of a guy claiming that a Caribbean man fought for Black History Month. Jamaicans again trying to steal every damn thing. Like, what is up with those people? I'm like, oh my gosh, stop it. What the hell is wrong with you? Go over there and build something. By the way, they be like, well, y'all ain't built nothing in centuries. Are you MFing crazy? The cell phone that you carry around every goddamn gone minute of the day that you're talking on was built by our people. Okay? Color monitor, the screen, the cell phone, a machine that creates fresh water from air vapor. Recently invented, not even 10 years, not even 5 years ago, within 5 years. Sweetie, if you don't sit down and take a seat, the ink pen that you use to write. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But listen, I'm kind of tired of trying to prove who we are. I really am. So when I talk directly to my people, ADOCS, FBA, ADOS. I talk directly to my people. I'm not here to prove anything to people outside of my people. When I talk about our history, it's to refresh our people. You understand? It's to refresh you and I of our history in this country. That you don't forget, that you don't allow the voices of these foreigners, these Black foreigners who come in and infiltrate us and spread self hatred among us and between us. They the ones behind the manosphere. They the ones behind the divestment, I think they call them women. Is it divest? It's not invest. So it's divest sisters or divestment, where, they say date out. That is immigrants. Brought that to our communities to spread hatred among us, self hatred. You always hear them popping up. Well, y'all don't need reparations because the only thing y'all gonna do is buy Jordans and wigs, $1 million wigs. Really? They step on the successes of so many of our people out here that own businesses, acting as though none of us own businesses because they don't see us with corner store businesses or rundown hotels, smelling all stinking in there. We don't have corner stores with stacks of rice and beans, dry beans and rice and stuff. Like, what business? Hold on, what business they talking about? Like, what you? Mm, interesting. So, anyways, they infiltrated our community. They cosplay us and misrepresent us. They've done a lot. They have wrecked our community for sure. And now we're at the point where this is the jig is up. Thank God. The jig is up and you gotta get on. Move around. Stop all that crying all over social media. Right before Trump came in office, y'all was popping off, talking about how much you hate us and all that. We ain't African because we don't have a tribe we can trace ourselves back to. And now all of a sudden, since Trump in office, oh my God, let's get along. Let's work together, please, please. We learned our lesson. Mm-mm. Do y'all know the history of Somalians over there? What they do, 7-year-old brides and stuff, and what they do to them young girls. And you out here talking about we come from one night stands. What? I ain't gonna even go into that deep into that. I'm not here to I'm not here to entertain those people. I can't do it anymore. I've heard their mouth. I've heard their mouths, and it's ridiculous. It's pathetic. It's disrespectful, and it's not something I'm about to entertain any longer. I've been there where I went back and forth with Pan Africans and so forth. I don't want to have any conversations with them. This song I was listening to, they say, let's make it clear, it's no turning back. I feel you. I don't want to have no conversations with you. I see who you are. I accept who you are. And I just don't want to talk anymore about anything. I don't even know how foundational Black Americans can do it every day, talking to them. Sweet, let me explain something to you, foundational Black America. You do understand because the spotlight is on you, period, point blank. People latch on to you when they want some shine. If they want shine, all they got to do is insult a Black person, and then everybody's looking at them because here go the Black people. What you saying about us? Such and such is saying this about us. And now you're giving them shine all across social media. Come on now, we got to stop. We got to stop that. Nobody wouldn't go to Africans' channels and stuff. They put us in their titles left and right. They parasitic is beyond parasitic. It's creepy. It's stalking. It's gross behavior. When somebody say leave me alone and you don't leave them alone, that shit is creepy and scary. But to the ones that open door to them, I guess this social media, they're looking for interaction with Africans and Caribbeans and stuff to keep their channels viewership up. That's you. But if you really wanted to starve them out, they would not get shine if you didn't entertain them. If you don't entertain them, if you don't give them opportunity to be heard, they won't get no shine. They know in order to get shine, they have to be lashed on to you. That's why they use foundational Black American and their titles and stuff and talk about us on their platforms, because without us, they lack shine. They did that back in the days with the civil rights movement. Why couldn't the Asians and the Spanish and the white tea women start their own civil rights away from Black civil rights, foundational Black American civil rights movement? Because the shine was on us. It's always on us, period. So they lashed themselves onto you, and this is historical throughout history, society. They lashed themselves onto you, foundational Black Americans. What have the immigrants come here and do? and did and still do. They lash themselves onto you. They come on the stage and cosplay you. Yo, 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 start rapping, DJing, everything. Next thing you know, they claiming your art. Because they put a little spin on it. Something that say, hiya, hiya, hey, 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 all that bullshit right there. So now they claiming your stuff is theirs. Ain't that a blimp? They latch on to you continuously and claim your stuff continuously. Nicki Minaj claims she's the queen of rap. Girl, when, where, since when? What the are you drinking or smoking, lady? Who told you that lie? Latched on to our culture and gonna call herself the queen of rap. Eminem latched on to our culture and with his people, what his white stream media people did, call him the what? Greatest rapper. What the freak? What? What? What Mariah Carey did? Hmm? Latched on to our culture and want to call herself a diva. Do you know what a diva is? Mariah can't hang with divas. What's wrong with you? You know what a diva is? Mariah have high pitched tones. I think you need to listen to Chantell more. Hmm? There's others. Um, so many others. I was a big what's her name? Tina Marie fan. Though I was a big Tina Marie fan. Alicia Fisher latched on to our culture, singing our songs and carrying on like as though she's one of us. See, all of them latch on to our culture, our arts. They don't create shit themselves and they don't pay homage. That's the sad, pathetic thing. All the way to South Africa. They have infused our jazz music into their music. They have infused our gospel into their culture. They have infused sneakerhead culture into their culture. They have infused every freaking thing we do in America, foundation of Black Americans, they have infused it into their culture. And then one girl gonna talk about she from South Africa. She gonna talk about we don't copy y'all. What are you talking about? Y'all copy us. I'm like, bitch, are you living in a village? Excuse me. I'm sorry about that. Are you in a village? Did you just, God dang it, say that foundational Black Americans copy you? You think you think y'all created gospel and hip hop and rapping and girl, girl, I can't. I don't know how y'all do it. I cannot talk to these people. I can't. I can't do it. That shit would drive you nuts. You are talking to liars. Tribal minded people is what they are. Here, I'm about to go deep right here, Foundational Black Americans. You are talking to tribal minded people. I think I've explained to you a few videos prior to this one. Listen, when I say those people are tribal minded Africans are very dangerous. They're extremely dangerous. That's what foundational Black Americans don't get. Let me explain something to you. Over in Africa, they operate quite different from in America. We know this. In America, it's race based. If you have white, pale skin and, you know, a straight hair texture, a silky hair texture, and light eyes like the white people, you can look like one of them, then you're considered white. In America, if you don't have that, you're considered Black or other. But everything is based on race, and race is just a construct made up by the white supremacists to categorize people in this country as Black, white, mongoloid, what else they got? Yeah, race is based on appearance. They did this all around the world, matter of fact. They judge people based on appearance. A lot of people's culture got erased because of this reclassification of race, racial construct in society. A lot of people cultures were erased, lost in the sauce of it all. A lot of people, full blood indigenous First Nation tribes became Negroes because of whatever reasons, right? I'm gonna get into that tonight too, y'all. All right. I'm gonna get into that tonight too. But first, I think I'm gonna talk about the Liberians, and then I'll talk about the erasure of indigenous populations in America, becoming Negro. And let me explain this before I go into those subjects. Back to the understanding that tribal minded Africans are extremely dangerous. Over in Africa, it's not race based. Over in Africa, it is tribe based, and all the tribes are the same complexion. You see, all of them are, you can say, black people, are melanated people. Okay? They're all melanated people, heavily melanated people, with some slight difference in their appearance, but they are heavily melanated people. None is like the Caucasian people or the Asians. Majority of them on that continent, in West Africa, let's say, very heavily melanated people with curly texture hair. And again, over there, it's not race based because if it was, they would all consider themselves relatives, right? But they do not consider themselves relatives over there because it's not race based, it is tribe based. What that means is that their relatives is of their tribe. Anybody outside of their tribes are pure strangers. Stranger danger. Okay? Anybody outside of their tribe is considered stranger danger. Do you understand? It's tribe based. So everything the person do is based on their tribal traditions and how their tribe move in the area. So if their tribe is their tribe don't like the other tribe down the way because they um you know because they wear a feather on their head, so they don't like them because of that. They think the feather is an insult. They don't like them for that reason, and so you have a level of animosity that grows and the people end up fighting each other. Now, listen, these people don't see each other as relatives or cousins or anything like that. They don't see themselves as we all come from one source in Africa. We just eventually became tribes of people. But if we trace ourselves back, we're going to trace ourselves back to one source, one family. They don't see themselves like that. That's how we see ourselves, Foundation of Black America. When we begin to trace ourselves back to one source, we realize we're all related, cousins. We related. Okay? That's how we see ourselves. In Africa, they don't see themselves like that. They don't think about tracing themselves back to one source. They see themselves as completely different people. Those people over there are stranger danger people that's liable to kill them, delete them, I mean. So that's how serious it is. So when they tell you that you're not African because you don't have a tribe you can trace yourself back to, understand that. You're not an African because you have no tribe to trace yourself back to. Now you see what they're saying? You get it now? Because you not having a tribe to protect you is dangerous. But you're going to bring yourself to Africa, dwelling around different tribes in the opening. At any time, you can be harmed because you have no family connection there. You have no tribe connection to protect you. You're just in the opening. It's very dangerous. And it tells me that you clearly don't know how African mindset is structured. You're not brave. It's kind of crazy to do such a thing. You just hope that they don't harm you because you have no actual tribe to be connected to for protection. Okay? That's pretty ooh. So that's what they mean by you're not an African if you can't trace yourself back to a tribe. A tribe is very much important in Africa. If you have no tribe, that doesn't even make sense to them. Let me break it down real quick how dangerous it is. Again, they don't see each other as distant relatives or cousins. They don't see that. Their mindset is not like that. It's not race based or anything like that. They see each other as different sets of people. And again, no connection to each other at all. Period. Skin color and hair texture don't mean ish to them. They see those other people as pure danger to them. Especially if making business or doing business or whatever and it goes bad. Oh my goodness. Hmm. So when these particular people come outside of their country to America, you expect them to look at us and be like, "Oh, that's they black like us. That's our people." That's not how they see us. They're tribal minded people and they're dangerously tribal minded. Let me explain it to you. So when they come to America, don't nobody have to tell them not to F with us. They already know that based on your skin complexion. Here's another set of group of dark people. These people are stranger danger. What are they about? We can't trust these people. These people want our stuff. Don't talk to them, they tell each other here. To be safe, don't talk to them. And don't whatever. And the only reason they talk to you after being nice to them for so long is because they want to know what you're about. That's all. They're not talking to you because they trust you and all. They want to know what you're about. How can you help them? And some of them learn to go along with that play and be like, well, let me take advantage of this. They're not mean people. They're trying to help us here. They realize that, oh, foundational Black Americans ain't mean people or tribal like in Africa. They actually trying to help us. Some of them. And so they take advantage of that. It doesn't mean they like you. They just take advantage of what you're offering. See? But do they trust you? No, they don't. Those people come here on a mission to get what they can get. A lot of them find foundational Black American women, even white ones sometimes, to marry and become citizens straightforward or have children with. They're on a mission. Do you understand? But it has all come out to the forefront with this social media effect in play. You heard before Trump got in office, of course, you heard and immigrants were booming. It was immigrant time. Who was in office? Biden. Biden and it was booming. It was immigrant time. They were like, fucking right, yeah, it's immigrant time around this camp. Hey, what's up? What's up? We got it going on around this beat. Uh huh. They got online and they started, one second. They got online and started telling foundational Black Americans that they don't come here to join us in our fight. They don't come here. Y'all remember that? They don't come here to join us in their fight. Their parents send them here to get educated and get a good job. They was talking a lot of crazy stuff to us. But when Trump came in office, whoo, he started putting in effect, get the out the country. And then that tone changed. They like, uh-oh, wait a minute here. God dang it, shebang, this one's on one. He wants us out. I don't want to go back to Africa. It's terrible over there. And now they on some, let's just kumbaya. All right. I'm glad I explained to you, Foundation of Black Americans, how dangerously tribal minded these people are. I hope you understand what I'm saying when I say they're dangerously tribal minded. I don't think I explained it in full detail, but hopefully you catch what I'm saying. Okay? They're dangerously tribal minded and not to be trusted. Okay? So, I'm gonna move along from that. And I want to I was talking about Pan-Africanism and oh, I know why I had decided to do the stream. Because I heard somebody talking about the celebrities going to Africa. And I was like, we had better be careful with that. Watching those celebrities go to Africa and get citizenships and stuff, we had better be careful not to follow them quackies. Those people are about money. Those celebrities are trying to maintain a lifestyle to keep up with. That's a very rich lifestyle that them and their friends live. And when their money starts to dwindle, they do a lot of different kinds of stuff to sway their people for millions. Okay? So you really can't listen to any celebrities. They are there to sway you so they can get money. They are a tool. They are used as somebody with a platform to sway their own people for a price. You understand? And it's sad because to sway you to Africa, y'all don't know the history. In particular, I always talk about this one country, Liberia, that you must remember what they did to the American Liberians who built up a country and called it Liberia. They ate those people. They devoured them raw and alive. These people mindset is of that. They living right here in America, right among you. It cosplaying you right in your dang on face. Ooh, y'all. I want to pose this question right quick before I go into topic. We have seen what immigrants have how immigrants have undermined us in any opportunity they get to side with the YT system. They side with the YT system against us, trying to knock down our reparations, trying to hijack our reparations all the way over to Africa. Mind you, the Liberian guy who bought Essence and bought all of our traditional cultural stuff, he is Liberian, a Pan African who was in a cahoots to take a to hijack our reparations all the way to Africa. This is the same man that bought up all of our traditional companies like in festivals and events like Essence and all of our hair care lines that we no longer use and stuff. He went and purchased all of them. Now you gotta ask yourself why. He's a Pan African, Liberian. You should ask yourself why is he purchasing all of our traditional things? He tried to infuse African culture on top of the Essence event, and it flunked, of course. Do you see his Pan African moves? He paid Queen Latifah to be a part of his partnership, his business. So when you see celebrities as the face of something, promoting something, he's behind it. He's using her face to promote his stuff to us through her. Celebrities are used as tools. They have platforms that they use in our community to sway us for a yes, they are paid to sway their people for a hmm? Let me take a sip of this. Wow. You can sway your people to something good or something bad. But in this matter, this is a man from Liberia. Whatever he's doing is not for our benefit. It's for his benefit. We're going to talk about that, but let me pose this question. With all that we have seen, the immigrants, how they undermined us, how they have been undermining us and trying to do, block our reparations, hijack our reparations, disrespecting us all over the place, left and right. What would it look like, FBA, Foundational Black Americans, if we decided to team up with the YT people, heritage Americans? What would that look like for them? Because we know what it would look like. We know what it looked like for them to team up with other groups against us. But what would it look like? Because see, we sitting here, ball is in our corner, and we haven't made a move to side with the immigrants, nor have we made a move to side with the YT heritage Americans. We sitting right here in the middle, like we don't have anything to do with it. In the meantime, you have these disrespectful people that continue to try to erase our culture and hijack our culture, Africanize it, erase it. Oh, really? Well, what would it look like if we joined with Heritage with Heritage Americans against them? What would that look like? Mm, mm, What would that look like? Mm, wow. It would certainly make it easier for them to be deported. That's for sure. Oh, yes. It would make it so much easier for them to be deported. These people don't even consider that. That if we were to side with heritage Americans against them, how much easier it would be for them to just be glided right on out the door. That's a question posed for foundational Black Americans. What would it look like if we sided with heritage Americans during this time of immigration um, chaoticness? Because we're certainly not siding with them. We are certainly not about to help them in any kinds of ways. The song said, let me make it clear, there's no turning back. We don't want nothing to do with you. Hmm? We don't want anything to do with you. But Pan Africans, we have to help each other. Girl, please, bye. We done already tried that with these people. We tried that for a very long time. These people clearly have no respect. Period. Look at the latest move of this guy cosplaying our people and our arts and gonna disrespect our people right in our face. Oh, child. Mm. Do you know how that would look? Um, Foundational Black Americans. Let's examine how that would look. We talking about we can get things put together real quick where there will be no representation of us by any foreign group of people. Foreigners, individual foreigners, or group of foreigners. We can get a lot of things out the deal. Do you understand? We want this right here done. We don't want no foreigners coming up representing us or our people. Hmm? We don't want any foreigners doing this or that. We don't want any foreigners doing this or that. We don't want, you see how easy that would be? Do you see how easy that would be? You'd be cast out from among our communities and institutions with easy breeze. Mhm. They don't realize how easy it is for us to do that. It's very easy, very easy. Let's move into something else, though. I just laid that on the table for you, foundational Black Americans. We can come together, establish what we want, the protections we want as a people, and go to our government. We can bring it forth to our government and explain we want policies set in place and things set in place where foreigners do not represent our people, do not cosplay us, and so forth. It's very easy. They ought to be thanking us that we haven't done it already. Moving along, moving along. All I'm gonna say is when you have disrespectful people in your midst and you know that they trying to take you down, you gotta get them from your midst. Hmm? You don't gotta devour them and eat them and shit. We don't do stuff like that. We're not mentally like challenged like that. But you can make it where they're not in your midst. You understand what I'm saying? Hmm. Let's go into the Liberian first. I want to talk about the Liberian history first. I'm going to be as quick as possible with this because I've talked about this so many times. Hold on a second. Let me see. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I wrote that down. Our move would be the ball is in FBA corner. And if we decided to partner with Heritage Americans, that would be very powerful and effective concerning removing people out of our midst who's cosplaying us, trying to represent us as a people in a political arena, who undermining us. They won't be able to speak on our behalf or do none of that. You understand what I'm saying? They would have to prove themselves to be us all the way through, and then be accepted by us before they can make any moves. Hmm. Listen, when people take you for a joke, which Black immigrants do, a good move is not opening a line of communication with them and playing with them when they take you for a joke, when they take your struggles for a joke, when they take everything about you for a joke. It's not a good move to open communication lines and chat with them about stupid shit and play with them. Usually what happens is, another group will stump them out. Oh, we don't got to go to war in this country. We just have to team up with our government. It's that simple. It's that simple. Y'all know in the history, there was some issues between Marcus Garvey and our leaders. They felt that he was misleading our people. Whatever it is he was doing, they felt he was misleading our people. So they went to the government. Oh, yeah. W.E.B. Du Bois and them, they went to the government about Marcus Garvey. Y'all don't know that history? Oh, yeah, it exists. And so they spoke to the government people about this man in our community that was spreading this crazy rhetoric to the people. And what happened was that they put a infiltrator, what they call him. Well, you could say infiltrator. They put him in line. He was I think he was foundational Black America or maybe Caribbean. I think he was foundational Black America. They put him in the mix, and he became friends with Garvey. And he got close enough to him to be his right hand man. And he informed them that, the man was suffering with some, you know, upstairs issues. And so that's how that went down. They felt that he was not good for the community. He was spreading rhetoric that was very dangerous to our people, which he wasn't our people, but they felt it was very dangerous. They tried to talk to him about it at first, but he wasn't trying to talk with them. And so they eventually worked on it and got him out the country. You understand? Oh, yeah, that's what went down. So let's see. Y'all remember that ink pen in your hands is invented by foundational Black Americans here? Remember that toilet you use, baby stroller you're buying, all that right there. A refrigerator, girl, yes indeed. Your cell phone, ice cream scooper, potato chips, boo. Barber clippers, hair curlers. Universal remote control that you use to click that channel. flashlights, and so forth. Microphone, mop, fire sprinkler, car air conditioner, fire escape ladder, the fire extinguisher, the traffic lights, the telegraph, GPS, folding ladder, folding chair, folding table, folding bike. And we used to have desks in a schoolhouse that used to fold. Yeah, those too. Brown paper bag system before plastic came into effect. That color monitor computer screen that you're sitting in front of. Mm-hmm. Yes, indeed, baby. Hold on. Um, oh yeah, our people invented the telephone too, the regular, landline. But what happened was that he sold it, and he sold the patent to two different white folks. Okay, the one he worked for and a different one. So it was a race between them two, who can get it patent before the other. And the guy named Bell got a patent first. They took that case all the way to Congress. Now you have to wonder, well, how come two of you have the exact same patent for the telephone? Duh, because it was sold to them by our FBA brother. Hello. He invented all kind of other stuff with the telephone. He was the inventor of the telegraph signals where, before telephones, you can send the signal stuff, messages through like signals and whatever. He also invented like the train, when it comes to the train, you can talk to each other. The train drivers can talk to each other. That the systems in there, the train connectors, the elevator buttons, the systems in the train that the conductors work with. Oh yeah, baby. Hmm. We're gonna get into the boating industry the next time I come because I wasn't really prepared for these. Central heating, by the way, central heating. Yes, baby. Car air conditioner, central heating. Yes. The heating gas furnace. Oh, yes, baby. Listen, y'all can look up Dr. Mark Dean, IBM worker. He invented the IBM computer. He did a whole lot of inventions concerning the IBM computer, first IBM computer. Look into that and you'll see everything about him. He was hidden for a long time because he partnership with them and gave a lot of his patents half credited. He allowed them to be part of when you do a business deal, be part of the I don't know why, be part of his inventions. So they credited with half of the patent as well, being credited to them as well. Let me take a sip of this. Hold on. Don't talk about we ain't invent nothing in 1,000 years or some shit, because let me tell you, the cell phone you hold in your hand, baby, the digital cell phone, that's our people. Oh, yes, sweetheart. Listen, one of our people just invented a water machine that the military use to make fresh water from air vapor. Mm-hmm. Foundational Black American, boo. Take a seat, okay? Take a seat. What else? Let me think. Shit, a lot. And rather than asking us what's the latest things we invented, what the have you ever invented? Hmm? Exactly. So yes, people. You guys need to stop taking these African people for a joke. I mean, god dang. Listen, so I mean, the only way they get a light is when you actually give them light. You give them shine by entertaining them. That's the only way they get it. I want you to remember that question. How would it look if foundational Black Americans was to side with heritage Americans and bring forward all that we desire for our communities? You do know that we would be able to get rid of you with ease from our communities. No more no more cosplaying us. No more cosplaying us and representing us as in a political arena. None of that. All y'all would be knocked down. Cause you know who you'll be split. The Black caucus will be split. The Black immigrants who you represent? A small population of people whom at this point Trump wants to get rid of. That ain't looking good. You would be representing a small population of people Trump wants to get rid of. I'm quite sure the Africans ain't gonna let the Caribbeans represent them. So it's gonna be another break off with that. The Africans would be on their own. The Caribbeans would be looking to try to, hey, ooh, foundational Black Americans. Come on, you hold the power. You hold the power in this situation. Come on now. Recognize. Listen. Oh, you really take us for that kind of a joke? Really? Oh, really? We see how you moving, how you're siding with other people against us, knocking down our reparations, trying to hijack our reparations. We see what you're doing to us. Clearly, we haven't made any moves. But when we do, you're clearly going to be knocked off the loop and out the loop with ease. Come on, foundational Black Americans. Don't play with these people. Don't play with these people. They're not to be played with. We don't have to get physical with anybody. All we have to do is make our list and go to our government. Hmm? We do not want any foreign people representing us in politics. And we don't want this, and that. We can knock you out of our midst with ease simply by going to our government. Do you know our government is anti-immigrant at this moment? Oh yeah, big time. He wants all illegals and undocumented people, anchor babies, and all of that stuff out of the country. He wants people here that contribute to the country only. And he's the leader of the nation. That's that. So, if you really want to know who really got the upper hand here, it is you, Foundation of Black Americans. That's who have the upper hand here. Foundation of Black Americans. And the immigrants seem to not understand that. They seem to not know who actually have the upper hand. They seem to take us for a joke. And they continue to test the patience of us. I mean, it's crazy. Because like I said, all it takes is for us to be like, Let's put this list together and go ahead on down there on top of the hill and talk to the president. Hmm? Yes, indeed. They don't even see and understand. Hmm? Let me go into Liberia and then native talk, and then I'm gonna wrap this up. I want you to know foundational Black Americans when it comes to that Africa stuff. Those people are being paid to sway, to use their platform to sway their own people for a price. They don't care anything about you. They trying to maintain a lifestyle. If they was interested in living in Africa and they thought it was beautiful, now one of them have moved over there. We don't want to hear about them buying a house there. I say none of them have actually moved over there and stayed there for a year. Okay? See, they're doing their best to get us out the country. Pan Africans and, celebrities that sway with a price and stuff. But none of them go to Africa to live there. How stupid is that? Ain't that stupid and dumb? Very disrespectful, too. But let me tell you something. There's a history in a country called Liberia. I want you to remember this very good because it's a history we must learn from. If you don't know history, you're bound to repeat it. You have to learn from history. Now, this country was not called Liberia. Okay, let me tell you. There was a white group of people, ACS, that took some American freedmen over to Africa in different parts of Africa. They took them different places around the world, actually, but we're talking about the ones that went to Africa. They took them there because they say, hey, we want you guys to have a live in true freedom away from white people who will try to, continuously harass you and stuff like that. And in truth, they didn't want to see American freedmen and other freedmen um, build nations among them because they knew how smart our people, they know how smart our people are, okay? One second. And they didn't want our people to build up nations in this nation that they have to compete with. So they said, let's get you away from us over there, somewhere else to build. Like I said, they took them in different places of the world, but we're going to talk about Africa tonight. It's one particular country I always speak on. And I speak on this country not because I'm saying Liberians are a part of us. Mm-mm. I speak on it because we have to learn from the history. So, anyways, the ACS group, these white people who had money, they were like, yeah, let's help you get over there and get yourselves free from, Caucasian rule. So some of them ended up in Sierra Leone and they decided, some of them decided to continue to move along somewhere else along the coastline of Africa that they considered better. Anyway, the story goes that the white people purchased land, settlement land for the American freedmen. The first trip was only about 80 of them. Okay. A lot of them did die off and stuff like that. Okay. So the first trip was 80. I think altogether it was like, it was in the thousands, but I can't remember the exact number actually. So eventually it was the American freedmen that first was brought there. And listen now, I want you to know the story because a lot of Liberians be calling y'all channels and pretending to be one of us. And they're not. So the white people bought them their purchased land from the cannibals, which American freedmen didn't know they were. They purchased land from them. They ended up fighting with the African tribes, different African tribes around the area because they were still capturing other African tribes and selling them to Europeans. You hear this? Because slavery was still was going on. They was trying to get the American freedmen, the ones that was free out the country. So these Africans were continuing to kidnap other African tribes and sell them to Europeans. Any foreigners they can sell them to. And the American freedmen had to fight with them to stop selling people. So eventually the American freedmen was assisted by the ACS, the white people, to build their country up. And they know that the American freedmen were very smart, skilled people because of slavery, of course. They were very smart, skilled people that had the capabilities and intellect to build. Okay. Because our people had built America. And so they assisted them with all they needed to build. Okay. So the people built up the settlement and they began to expand the settlement. They purchased more and more lands from the tribal chiefs until the land was almost the size of Tennessee. The tribal chiefs did treaties and land deals and gave up their land. Okay, for this expansion of what the Americo-Liberians called Liberia. So the country in Liberia, the country called Liberia in America was created and built and founded by by American freedmen who was bought there to start their own nation. Again, Liberia was built by American freedmen who was brought there to build their own nation. After so long of building and building and building, and they had more people that arrived and more people that arrived. By the way, all the cities and stuff like that they named was named after American cities like Louisiana. They had a Louisiana and a Mississippi and all that old kind of stuff, okay? It was American names, of course, American currency. And so they structured their government the same as American government, which is all we knew. Our not only our DNA is an admixture, but our culture is an intermixture of European and indigenous culture. Okay, that's who we grew up around, influenced our ways of thinking and stuff. And so their government system was structured just like the American government structure. Okay. And after building so long, they call themselves Liberians, right? But they decided to send around the world to other descendants of slaves in different countries around the world. Das nations. Das nation means descendants of slaves around the world. They decided to invite other Das nations. One second. They decided to invite other DOS nations around the world to come and experience living a true life of freedom away from Caucasian rulership. So they eventually welcomed over some Barbadians that went, some Haitians that went over. And so when the Haitians and Barbadians arrived, because they had to separate at this point, right? They became known as the Liberians. The Liberians from America is the ones that built Liberia, the country in Africa. And now they had on land some Barbadians who was known as Barbadian Americans. And then they had some Haitian Liberians. Okay, so they were inviting all of these nations that was enslaved to come and experience true freedom in Liberia. They were not inviting indigenous Africans because indigenous Africans already lived among themselves in the bushes or whatever. Okay, they were not under the rulership of any nation enslaving them. So the American Liberians became known as American Liberians. Then they had Barbadian Liberians, and then they had Haitian Liberians. The other Africans around them were just tribal people, different tribes of people who began to become very jealous. And I'll explain why. When the when the other groups, DOS nations arrived, one second. When the other DOS nations of people arrived, Barbadian Liberians and Haitian Liberians, they had their own areas in Liberia given to them by the American Liberians. They say, hey, this is our area. We want you to go over there and build a Barbadian Liberian area. We want you to go over there and build a Haitian Liberian area so that when people come, your people come, they have somewhere to come to. Again, many of those people died off because of the mosquitoes, this mosquitoville over there, and they died off, many of them, and a lot of them went back home. They they couldn't maintain building it. So see, Liberia was not meant for indigenous Africans, the surrounding tribes, to come in and participate. It was mainly built for DOS nations, people that was descendants of slaves that the indigenous Africans sold into slavery. It was meant for them to return and come there and and live in true freedom away from European rulership. Liberia was not built for indigenous Africans that took part in selling people to Europeans. Okay. But the indigenous Africans, the tribal Africans around them, they wanted to take part in the country. So they gave them jobs and so forth. And they was like, no, we don't want jobs. We don't want to work for you and work at the tire company, rubber company and all that. We want to have this castle you living in and shit like that. We want to have all of your stuff is what we saying. Because they were savage minded. They take what they want. You know how people are who live. I mean, you go try to live in a bush village next to a tribe and see what happens to your ass. You sit there and you grow a farm and your farm is growing hella great and you done built houses and they living in the shed and not hardly growing any food. What you think is gonna happen? Now you got better sense than that. What you think is gonna happen. And that's what happened to the American Liberians. Jealousy grew. Animosity grew. They said, oh no, we don't want no damn jobs. So they sat around and plotted to take it because they wanted to be up in that castle and rule it. They liked it. Now, here's the catch. The American Liberians and the American Liberians and the other nations, DOS nations that went to Liberia, The American Liberians, the Caribbean Liberians, and the Haitian Liberians, here's the catch. They did not mate or mess with any of the indigenous tribal people around because they saw them as savage minded people. They sold people into slavery. They was continuously kidnapping people, selling them into slavery, and these people had to fight with them and stop them from selling people. The American Liberians didn't want to have anything to do with them on a personal level. They saw them as savages. They didn't mate with them. They didn't intermarry with them. None of that. It was forbidden. So when you hear people calling your panels talking about, I'm Liberian, my mother is from Mississippi, it's a lie. And my daddy is Basso tribe and all that, it's a lie. American Liberians did not intermix or intermarry with these people. The people go as far as telling a lie. They say the men were going in the bushes having affairs with tribal women. So the tribal women children is American Liberian, so that way they can get money and whatever. Oh my God. Ooh, the drama. Listen, they didn't mess with them. They stayed far away from them because they understood their mindset was different, tribal, and dangerously tribal. What I keep saying, they dangerously tribal minded. There it is. They take what they want. You see what they're doing, the ones in Ghana right now today? They You can buy this land and take it right back. Play all kind of little games. Anyways, I want you people to understand the story now so we can learn from history. They did not intermate with these people nor intermarry with these people on no kind of level. So anytime you hear a Liberian person talking about, I'm half African indigenous and my mom is from Mississippi or Alabama, that's their way of trying to connect to American freedmen, which they are not a part of. There is no connections. Now, as time went on, American Liberians, Barbadian Liberians, and Haitian Liberians, they mixed with each other. And they called themselves the Congo people. The Congo people were DOS nations. I mean, they were descendants of slaves, DOS nations in that country called Liberia. They all consider themselves Congo people. Do you understand? None of them were tribal Africans. They did not mess with them. So anytime you hear a Liberian talking about, my mom is Mississippi, from Mississippi, my dad is from the African tribe of whatever, he or she is a liar. Yeah, they lying. Okay? Moving along. Now, as time went by, as I said before, the country was strictly built for descendants of slavery to come from around the world and experience true freedom away from European rulership, I mean. It was not built for indigenous Africans. They were already living in freedom in the bush, the jungle. They were already living in freedom. But they saw these people build up such great castles and homes and stuff, and they wanted to be in there. The people gave them jobs. They're like, we don't want that. We want everything about this. We want everything. We want to be up in there ruling it all that. And they plotted against the people. They had animosity towards them. After so long, the American Liberians, who, by the way, let me tell you this. The American Liberians who built the country up, who started the settlement and built it up into a great nation called Liberia, The one no, one of their rules was the only people to rule the country had to come from the American Liberian lineage strictly. They were not letting anybody else have rulership over something they built. Do you understand? It's something like the Caucasians here in America, but they didn't build it. They established it. That's why you got to build your own shit. But listen, um, that was the one rule in their constitution. Every leader of the Liberian nation has to come from the American Liberian lineage. Period. Point blank. All right. So moving along, as time went by, the white sea people gave them monies and all that materials to build their country, right? Because they were helping them to build their own nation away from America's, hatred. After the American freedmen, aka Liberians, built the country up so much, they dismissed the white tea people who wanted to have a hand in Liberia because of the resources. But the American Liberians, who was now called Liberians, who had built up a great nation, and the nation was recognized as an independent nation and all that. It was lovely. It was growing. People was going there and all that kind of stuff. They were the leaders who were having, tea and crumpets with the queen and king over there in England and stuff, and the UK and stuff. And, there was a respected nation that was growing really, really fast in Africa. It was growing really fast. Okay, they had a lot of people working over there, other nations of people, other races as well, that established companies in Liberia and stuff. So they gave these Africans jobs, these indigenous Africans, the tribal ones jobs. They didn't want that, as I said, they wanted the whole freaking rulership over it because they felt like, hey, wait a minute, this our land. We don't give a shit that we sold it to you. Time is up. It's our land. So they had animosity and all that. Once the American Liberians, dismissed the white tea man from their country and became independent, the white tea man in turn went to the tribal indigenous Africans and turned them against. Oh, mind you, the American Liberians didn't have a large population of people, enough to protect themselves from invaders. They hired different tribes to protect them from other tribes. But these tribes turned on them because they really had animosity in their heart towards them. But they had to work and earn money for their families, okay? So the white tea man, who was offended by the cutoff, the dismissal, went to the tribal people and was like, why don't you just take over because it's more of you than them? What are you doing? Just go take it. You can absorb their powers too, by the way. Don't y'all eat people that absorb their powers? And they're like, yeah, and go ahead, just take it over. And that's exactly what the tribal people did. One day out of nowhere, they just went on over there and took control because they were the military. They hired them to be the military. Went on over there and took control of the people, took the leaders, shot them, and then ate them raw, passed them through the tribes so they could so-called absorb their powers. They believe that if they eat people, they absorb their powers that way. And they ate them raw. And the remaining people fled the palace for their lives. The indigenous Africans were chasing them with guns and stuff. And they tell their stories on YouTube. The white people sent rescue missions over there to rescue them. Picture that. They went back over there to so-called Mama Africa, ended up running for their life from the tribal Africans around the country, running for their life, screaming to the white man to save them from those Africans, from the cannibal Africans. Picture that. And they also had some indigenous Africans, tribal Africans that pretended to be Liberians, jumping on the helicopters too, talking about, I'm with them. I'm America Liberian. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Running to the white man arms to save them from the indigenous tribal Africans. Hmm. I hope you learned something foundational Black Americans. You want to go and repeat that history? You want to let celebrities sway you over there to live among those people again? If you go over there and build up a great nation among them, as you are building, they're going to sit back, watch you build and watch you build and watch you build and become great. And one day they're going to take it over. When you say to them, no, you can't rule this shit that we put together, they're going to take it from you. Oh, they're going to definitely try because they're tribal minded. Now, after I've told you this story of history, true history, why would you then repeat the same dang on thing? Listen, those American freedmen, aka Liberians, American Liberians, they ended up in America. Guess what? In America doing what? Where are they, Chantell? They're hiding under the identity, like all immigrants, of Black Americans. Probably trying to fit in with foundational Black Americans. You hear the Liberians be calling y'all panels talking about I'm Liberian? The minute you hear that bullshit, you ought to know. Baby, listen, you're not foundational Black American. Period, point blank. Okay? Let me tell you something. What those indigenous Africans did afterwards, when they ran off all of the American Liberians. They took control of the palace, the kingdom, went in and called the president of America. They said, hey, we are your stepchildren, your illegitimate children, I mean, and you owe us this much. Can you send 55 million to us? And sure enough, they sent 55 million to them because America makes its own money, right? They sent 55 million to them. The president, the man that took charge of the who overthrew the leaders and took charge, he built a super mansion in the jungle. And who knows what else he did with it, because that country been a shithole ever since. Literally. Literally. He turned it into a dump ever since. The Essence owner who bought Essence, he's from there. Ask yourself, what am I saying? Hold on. Let's back this up. To this day, they did not only steal the country from American freemen, aka American Liberians, they stole their names, their title names. The indigenous tribal Africans began to call themselves Liberians, which they're not. They have tribal names, but they call themselves Liberians. And when the government opened the door and let them all come over here, they are under the title of Liberians, which they're not. They're tribal Africans. And they're dangerously tribal-minded Africans. You know that they still do not like the American Liberians? They don't like them. They hate them. And that is why the American Liberians hide from them under the title of Black American and foundational Black American. Indeed. Yep. Because they scared as fuck of them tribal Africans, them indigenous tribal Africans. Hmm. So now you know, foundation of Black Americans. Listen to this story again, backtrack and listen to it again. I hope I wasn't too long in explaining it, but listen to it again so you can know the history. Anytime you hear Liberians talk about they have African tribe and they have their mama from Mississippi, that's bullshit. They did not mix with any of y'all. Stop it. They did not enslave you. They were stopping you from selling people. So I wanted to let you guys know the history so you can be aware and understand not to repeat history, bad history. I was going to talk about the indigenous tribes tonight. I don't think so. I'm a little sleepy. I really wasn't trying to do this live stream, except I heard somebody talking about the celebrity that's going over to Africa and stuff like that. I'm like, oh, that's bullshit. Listen, those people are moved by dollars. Do you understand me? They use their platform in our communities to sway us for whatever monies they getting. Okay. They should be ignored to the fucking fullest. Let me tell you, when it comes to them, excuse me, hold on. Yeah, when it comes to them celebrities, y'all should and influencers. Oh my goodness, I don't even know how y'all can. They're swayed. Okay, they use their platform to get paid to sway their own people, and they don't give a living shit about you and your children, because as you know, them and their children is living right here in America. They ain't move their families over there. Have you noticed any of them that have got up and left and moved? No, none. None at all. But they're going to try to convince you to take your ass over there. Hmm. Anyways, that's a wrap right there. I hope you learned something. I hope you get it so that you can be aware of what's going on. Foundational Black Americans. And again, I want to pose this question to you, Foundational Black Americans. What would it look like? We know what it looked like when they side against us with other nations of people for their betterment, the Black immigrants, Caribbeans, and Africans. So they stay siding with other people against us. But what would it look like when we side with other people, American heritage people, against them? Because when we side with those people, we automatically go against siding with immigrants. What would that look like? Hmm? We can bring our little list of what we desire, what we're calling for from our president. Oh, you guys are on board. Okay, okay. Let's see what we can do here. Easy breezy. And they don't even recognize we have the upper hand here. The ball is in our corner as foundational Black Americans. We can either side with immigrants, which we're not, or we can side with American heritage people, bringing our concerns and policies and all of that right to the table. Hmm? We can have you dismissed from our communities with easy breezy. You would have to prove yourself one of us to represent us. You wouldn't be able to represent us no more. You wouldn't be able to cosplay us on any type of levels and stuff. Do you understand what I'm saying? The ball is in our corner. What are you talking about? Hmm? Hello. No, I'm ready to. I gotta go exercise. I know it's late, but I'm still gonna exercise. All right, listen. I'm done with talking tonight. I hope you guys learned something. Listen to the American Liberian history again, so you can be absolute in the real deal of these people, what they did, and you can remember not to repeat the same mistake. Okay, so um, yeah, I think that's it. I'm gonna wrap it up right here. And remember, the ink pen you're using is Foundation of Black American invented it. Mm? The digital cell phone, Foundation of Black American. Your color monitor screen. Okay. Thank you for tuning in and listening to Miss Chantell. Subscribe so when I come back on again, you can be notified. All right. Thank you for tuning in. Good night. And once again, don't forget to check out Frontline Black News. The title, the name of the channel, Frontline Black News, with two letter C's for cat at the end of black. And the title is Season 6, Episode Part 12, one of the Frontline Black News. This song is the bomb, baby. Let's listen a little more while I close out. Hmm. Unproductive people always cosplaying me. Talking about we ain't do nothing. This land is paid for and full. And blood, sweat, and tears, and dreams to burn. You don't get to come into a house built from the dirt. Selling black America, y'all ain't worth nothing. That's a violation. Pack your bags, time to go home. If I fall on my soil, well, blood the bones grow. Shut the bed, it's the grandma, y'all just finished on me. Get the show no respect to black America, so leave up. Time to go home. Get the hell up. Ooh, yeah. Huh, huh, hmm, hmm, hmm. Specifically. So I gotta find out whose song this is. That's a very nice song. I really like it. The words are very speak true to the situation, the current situation, what's going on with delineation and the disrespect of these immigrants. And it's once again, it's not only towards foundational Black Americans, it's towards American heritage too, because once again, um, and trust me, it's disrespect to them too. Okay. And I like this song. Y'all check that song out, all right? Whew. Thank you for tuning in. Good night.